Welcome. In this video, we are going to be looking at some exciting new features of PowerPoint that Microsoft has introduced to the online version of PowerPoint, and it is PowerPoint Live. That's what it's called from the participant view. As you'll see, it's a slightly different name from the presenter view. But this is under the slideshow tab. A lot of cool new things have appeared recently under the slideshow tab, including closed captioning, subtitles in multiple languages, and rehearsing and getting feedback from AI. So this is where you will find Present Live. So as a presenter, it's called Present Live. There is a little drop-down arrow next to Present Live. If you click there, you can choose between limiting this to only people within your organization, which, if you choose that, will require people to log in to your district account, or you can choose anyone, which makes it open to the public. And that's the one that we're going to use. And when I choose Present Live, you'll see I get this sort of extra screen at the beginning. And this screen is designed for if you are doing this live in front of an audience in person. So they have a place where they can use their QR code scanner to open the presentation with their phone or any device with a camera. Top right corner, you have the join code. It's always powerpoint.microsoft, so ppt.ms/ then it's 7 to 10, so alphanumeric code. Now, I can't click on that from here, so this is again designed for you looking at my screen live and in person. Once I click to go to the next screen, then I can open the same code where I can click on it. So if I move my mouse down to the bottom of my screen, I have the little toolbar here, and this second to last one here is where I get to some options. One, I can return back to that home screen again if I need to. Two, I can copy this link. I'm also going to go ahead while we're here and turn on audience reactions up, which is not working right now. Okay, I'm going to copy my link here, and this is where you can follow along. I'm going to go paste this on my other screen, which will be my student view. So here we are. I have pasted that code in, and it says I am now connecting to the presentation. Notice that there is a transcript on the right, and it just filled in everything that it missed. So ever since I started the presentation, even before I joined in this student view, it's now listed all of that. It's all listed under slide number 1. So you'll see that as I move, and this set of slides is just a set of backgrounds images that I use for comic strips and storyboards. So as I move to the next screen on my teacher view, I automatically move to the next screen on my student view. Once I move to the next screen, then the transcript will also indicate that I have moved to slide number 2. Sometimes that takes a moment to catch up. As I continue moving from slide to slide, the student view also continues to move from slide to slide. Next thing I want you to notice is that on that screen where the transcript resides, at the bottom is the word English. And that's because you don't have to choose English. There are lots of other languages you can choose from. So I can choose Filipino, and instantly the entire transcript, there's my slides, are translated into Filipino. So again, notice that as I switch from slide to slide, that my transcript also indicates that I've moved to another slide. In the bottom left corner of the student view, notice that there's an arrow. It only points backwards, not forwards. We are on slide number 6 out of 29. And if I want, I can go back to any previous slide. I can't go ahead and spoil any surprises, but I can go back to review any previous slides. Now, if the teacher moves on a few slides, we'll discover that now we're way behind. So instead of coming in here and clicking, arrow, over and over, once you're on a different slide than the presenter, you can always just click right to go to the current slide, and it gets you instantly caught up. You can also click on the slides in the transcript. So if you want to see both the written text or the transcript of what was said during that slide, while going to that slide. Instead of going to the slide and then scrolling back here, you can just scroll back and then click on whichever slide you want to go back to. And that still allows you to click the current slide button to get instantly caught up. So we have the ability to rewind and review. You have the ability to show your transcript in any language. And that's really powerful because Microsoft has had within PowerPoint for a while now the ability to show closed captioning, which is great for deaf and hard of hearing. You can also show that transcript in any one other language. So if you have a large segment of your population is native Spanish speakers, then you could choose Spanish for that purpose. But if you have one student who has hard of hearing, one who speaks Spanish, and one who speaks Korean in the same classroom, you had to choose between one or another. Now with this, everybody can choose on their own device if they want to see the closed captioning in a different language than the one being spoken by the presenter. So your student with deafness can choose English, and each other student can choose their own native language. The other interesting point here is that you are bringing it from FarPoint to Nearpoint. So even if we are not doing this during remote learning, but we're doing this live in the same classroom or hall, particularly for something like a conference, the ability to move the presentation from one big screen in the front of the room, which may be blurry for students, to put it directly on each student's devices, you're moving it from FarPoint to Nearpoint, which is a great accessibility feature, even for students who are not who don't have a traditional disability. So students who have maybe some difficulty paying attention for that far away. Students with attention issues, students with reading issues, students with vision issues, having it Nearpoint can be advantageous. And last thing I want to show you is this feature for feedback. Okay, so this is the one that I was not able to turn on for some reason. So this is where you should be able to turn it on, show audience reactions. So what happens here is when the student or the audience clicks on any one of these icons, very social media-like, they should start floating up on my page. Oh, there they go. So it wasn't showing up as turning on, but it is actually working. So you can see they only go up not even a quarter of the way up the page. So you can turn that off if you want, but I don't find that to be very disruptive during a presentation. So again, it gives you some feedback without really being disruptive to what you're trying to do. So all of the features here are, you bring it from FarPoint to Nearpoint. Students can rewind and review previous slides and instantly get caught up. Everybody gets a transcript on the side of their screen, which they can choose to translate into any of about 40 some different languages. And during the presentation, they have the ability to give feedback saying, yes, I got it, I like it, or I'm kind of confused. Finally, when the instructor or presenter stops the presentation, you have the ability to pause for up to 30 minutes. After that, it will completely end, so you can resume at any point. But once I choose to end the session, it ends it for everyone. It gives you that warning. And then on the student side, or the viewer side, you can give the general feedback of 1 to 5 stars, and then you can rate the slide design, speaker skills, content, interaction with audience, and a place to just fill in feedback. Right? And this is powered by Microsoft Forms. So as the presenter, I can then go into my Microsoft Forms in my OneDrive, and I will see the results to this, which we will do for you right now using the new Office app. So I choose my right account, and right from my desktop, I can go right into Forms. My presentation was called Backgrounds. Here's today's date and the time. So you can see if I click on here, and you can see I can view my responses, either in the Responses tab of Forms, or I can open that in an Excel spreadsheet. and this is just auto-created for me right here in Microsoft Forms. Okay, so that is PowerPoint Live. It is currently in the online version of PowerPoint, not the desktop version of PowerPoint, which makes complete sense because these tools are all online. So it used to be that like all of the best features would be on the desktop version, and now, thankfully, especially in a world where there are so many Chromebooks, lots and lots of these cool new features are coming to the Chromebooks so that Microsoft is bringing accessibility really to the masses in education and beyond. So this is PowerPoint Live. There's some obvious uses for this in the classroom live, but there are at least as many use cases for remote learning. This is something that you as a teacher can do in your home, while students, when you share this code or link with them through Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams or whatever format you use to get URLs and web links out to students, if you share that with them, then you can be presenting this live and they can be seeing your transcripts of your words in their own home as well. So obviously this works just as well, if not better, for remote learning. So perfect to try out before the end of the year or to practice with for the beginning of the next school year. So that is PowerPoint Live. Don't forget to click subscribe down below, where you'll also find links to my book, all the Microsoft tools you need to transform your classroom, as well as a link to my blog, theotherit.com.